Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with a new series. And this series is all about breaking down business and digital businesses and how to create your brand, your business, how to market your business, and pretty much cover every aspect of business in today's age to really give you a behind the scenes look at how to do it yourself, how to create a brand that is stronger than 99% of the businesses in the marketplace, how to market your business directly to your target audience. All right. And we're going to jump around and look at understanding algorithms and things like that throughout the series. But today's episode is going to be all about understanding marketing and branding and how they work to not only attract your ideal client, but to create a narrative for your brand, for your business. So, what I'm going to be doing throughout this series is just breaking down how I do everything. So breaking down my strategies and my business to really give you a behind the scenes look at how to do it. The majority of people will not give you this. Most of them will give you a sort of snapshot about a small aspect of their business, but they won't break down things to the details that I will. So we're understanding that in business, it's very important to understand our marketing. So many people or marketing experts will tell you to create pages on social media for your business. So create a business page, create a personal page, blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. Your personal feed, especially if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur or a company, well, not so much a company, but if you're running a private company, so not a public company, but a private company, what you want to understand is your best asset is your personal brand. So, what do we mean by personal brand? Personal brand is everything that encompasses your company's values, your business's values, your values. Your company values should be a reflection of your personal values, what you value in this life. Do you sort of get it? So, my four values in this life are self mastery, effort, action, and respect. And you'll see that throughout all of my branding. So, what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and start reviewing my posting structure and my posting sort of process to really understand the effectiveness of it. So if we jump back and we think about marketing, what is marketing? Marketing is promoting your business and promoting your offers, your products, your services. So a lot of people in content marketing will tell you that you should do posts where you're just posting without any links, and it's not a bad thing to do, but they misinterpret it as having a segregation between content posts and offer posts. All posts should be offer and content posts. You should seek to give value in everything that you do, opposed to just imitating others. So we don't want to imitate others. Okay, we don't want to be like those people on LinkedIn that just utilize generic images and generic photos and generic videos that are trending to try and get it. So when we're understanding branding, we're understanding creating brand identity, identifying markers that specifically lay out your brand or make it easily identifiable for an individual to know your brand. So an easy thing to do is create a photo, okay, or not create a photo, but take a photo of yourself that you like. Now, an important thing to understand when we get into understanding the transference of energy and emotion, okay, which is done through body language and through presence. If you want to understand how I created this photo of myself, it's quite easy, and it's an understanding how to channel and focus your energy into a specific emotive text, or not an emotive text, but an emotion. Okay, I feel you want to capture an aspect of self, an aspect of time. Okay, so an important thing to do when we're trying to do this is we want to feel the emotion. We want to draw it into our chest, into our heart, and then we want to project it. So what I wanted to project in this photo was awe-inspiring, visionary, different things like that. Do you sort of get it? So very important that we don't just take a photo and have all of our insecurities bare. The internal state I'm in will present or be broadcasted external to me. Very important to understand this, because the majority of people don't understand this. They think it's about the posture of the face you make. Do you sort of get it? It's not about that. It's about capturing a moment of energetic frequency and then broadcasting that frequency external. Most people won't really understand it, but that's okay. They're not us. Do you sort of get it? So an important thing to understand is, for me and my business, how I operate is short form content, long form content, video content. Do you sort of get it? I don't worry too much about short form video content in the aspects that majority do. We're not trying to pull people towards us. Okay, what we're trying to do is project out and magnetize the right people to us. Do you sort of get it? It's not about pandering to what people want. That's the illusion that 99% use around marketing, that it's all about, you know, getting the attention of everyone. We don't want the attention of everyone. We want the attention of our ideal buyer. My ideal buyers are the top 1% in performance. So not the top 1% in finance, the top 1% that do more than other people. So we have to create these client avatars. And the best way to do it is your client avatar will be you, a reflection of you. Do you sort of get it? We're not trying to attract people we don't like or people who don't value what we value. We want to attract people who value what we value. So the important thing is to have us as the prime example of it. We want to attract people who are like us. Do you sort of get it? So the way I do it in terms of short form, and it's important to realize that on social media, predominantly the majority of consumption, if we're not going after negative videos and things like that, okay, if you're in the space that I'm in, personal, professional, business development, 99% of people aren't interested in that content. So these sort of videos, to the majority of people, don't perform well. So it's not that we don't utilize these videos, okay? It's that we understand what performs at a higher rate, what the algorithm's like in terms of content, and then we choose to utilize it. So if I was doing flashy, hooky, sort of short form videos, then I would predominantly do short form videos, but I don't agree with that. I think it's manipulation to utilize those tactics, those strategies that work on subconscious manipulation. So we don't do that. So what I do is I offer short form text based. images. So quote images. So don't just go onto Google and find quote images and utilize them. That's just irrelevant. When we're talking about branding, branding is the language we use. Branding is our personal image, okay? Our identifier, who we are. If I'm trying to attract people who are like me, I do not utilize my brand logo to attract them because there's a difference in the appeal, but also I don't want people to know the brand logo because it doesn't do anything for me. Do you sort of get it? It's faceless. It's in essence valueless in the context of my brand because I am my brand. So, what aspect are we leveraging? Are you creating your brand to be faceless and a business name and a logo? Or is your brand yourself, your image? Do you want people to recognize you or your logo? Do you sort of get it? Are they going to build higher amounts of trust towards you, an individual, someone they can relate to, or a faceless logo that they don't have any connection to? Do you sort of get it? How much does McDonald's, Nike, Coca-Cola have to spend on marketing and branding to create that level of connection? Your biggest power in all of marketing, especially if you're a small scale operation like mine, that is just me. What you got to understand is your presence, your like recognition, recognizability is your leveraging market against everyone who is, going down the faceless route. So just understand this is very important. But when we jump into these quotes, okay, think about it like this. These aren't, in essence, the way. Well, what is a quote? A quote is a short statement. A quote is the transference of highly specific knowledge into a very simple format that's easy to digest. It's why I utilize them because it's a way to distill complex ideas and complex sort of teachings into very easy, digestible, short, sharp things. So, an important thing to understand is when we're doing this sort of marketing. So, what is the point of marketing? I don't want to build followers for the sake of having followers. Have you noticed if you analyze the results that the top 100 most recognized people in business get or most recognized business gets in terms of engagement, they get like 0.001% engagement. Do you sort of get it? So it's like my posting isn't for engagement in the context of, we want to create stuff that's valuable that people can engage with. But the importance of it is what is that content doing? Do you sort of get it? Like, I'm not just trying to build a following so that I can say I have 100,000 followers and, ooh, how great I am. No, I want to create a following where my marketing is a direct call to action. It can be a direct call or an indirect call. This is an indirect call, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? It's a direct call because I'm saying I could rewire your subconscious mind to have an insatiable urge to move towards your goal. Do you sort of get it? That's one of the aspects of what I do. I reprogram people's minds to create within their subconscious all the drivers. So, like most people in life seek to be motivated. And it's like, if you want to be motivated, like, just realize, like, death is what motivates people. It's the greatest motivator. Why? Because no one has ever said, I'm not motivated to breathe. Do you sort of get it? If you try to stop breathing, your body will override it because not breathing equals death and your body fights against death. Do you sort of get it? So don't chase the motivation. Rewire your subconscious mind to have urges, synaptic pathways that fire, that direct you towards what you want in life. So this is an indirect um, offer or an indirect call to action because I'm not saying, hey, click this link. I'm putting the link there and suggesting that click this link to find this program or to find out more about this program. So we have suggested, and then we have our non-suggested actions where, for example, I could say, buy this chocolate bar. Or I could put a chocolate bar next to you and sit it there. Like, do you sort of get it? Like, the choice is yours to take it and eat it or to not. Do you sort of get it? So the choice is yours to click on the link if you want or not. I'm not saying you have to click on the link. Do you sort of get it? So when we run through what we want to try and do, especially with marketing and branding, is every time we speak is the opportunity to tell someone what we do. Do you sort of get it? And we're able to tell them in different ways. So currently I run about 4 or 5 different programs, from business programs to personal development programs and professional development programs. So each of these different offers or these different quotes that I put up, I am directing them towards different like programs, but I can utilize the quote for all programs. That's how versatile it is. So don't think about it as I'm trying to do, you know, philosophical quotes in the context that I have to be thinking, I am man, therefore I am. Do you sort of get it? I can have it as I tell you about a specific thing and educate it. Like, for example, I am a phoenix rising. If you burn me to the ground, I will rebuild. As my muscles are destroyed under intense pressure, they rebuild at a faster rate. Do you sort of get it? So I'm able to utilize quotes as a directive or a direction towards different things. Do you sort of get it? Very important to understand this because this is one of the most advanced forms of marketing because now I'm able to do anything. So let's say you are a builder. You could do quotes about the process of building. Can't build a house without a solid foundation. Do you sort of get it? Like building your foundation. And then we just write a sentence or two on it. What does that mean? What do we want to convey in that? And the best part is we're then able to utilize our like our text in the post as either a reinforcer or as a director. So I can reinforce what I'm saying, or I can direct you towards, for example, do you want the strength and power to rise again and again from any challenges? Then you need this program, this course, this what I offer, or you'd already be able to. Do you sort of get it? My conversational style, my brand style is highly direct. That I'm just going to say what I want to say without all the bullshit. Do you sort of get it? Very important to understand this. So I can direct people, but I can also challenge them to say, if you think you don't need this, you'd already be able to do it, mate. Evidently, you can't. Do you sort of get it? Because it's not evident in your life. So it's very important to understand this, depending on who your target audience is. My target audience is the top 1%. The top 1% can handle me saying, if you were able to do it already, you would be. Do you sort of get it? If I'm trying to market to the 99%, well, they're going to get a little pissy that I'm calling them lazy and saying they can't do something. They're going to complain and whine. That's why I don't direct my process towards the 99% because they get offended at me because I don't hide behind illusions and lies. I don't spare people's feelings to make them feel good about themselves. Do you sort of get it? I give the truth because the truth is the most important thing. So we just understand throughout it, okay? Now we're jumping into a high level business program, revolutionizing your revenue. This is my business program's name, or one of them. Do you sort of get it? So, like, what is revolutionizing your revenue? A process of investing into your team, which leads to dramatic increases in your business's revenue. That is the definition, but it's also how I define it because I want people to invest into their teams. So I am directing them to believe or think what I want them to think. Do you sort of get it? It's sort of similar to subconscious cueing. I'm directing the narrative to what I want it to be. Majority of people don't do this with their branding. They don't do this with their marketing. There's a large gap in the market for people who can do this. So, for example, we're taking this quote of what it is, and now we're directing it to 99% in business will never experience a true revolution of their business. They will forever follow the herd. Don't be like the 99%. Do you sort of get it? Not untrue. The 99% in business imitate and copy others and call it success and call it originality. The herd thinks that everyone is an individual, yet everyone has to agree with the herd. So we have this as our driver towards directing people to take an action. Do you sort of get it? So I can direct people in the quote to take an action, or I can direct people in my text of my post. Do you sort of understand? So it's very important to understand this because as we move through, what is being reinforced? The same template. You're seeing the same sunset, the same photo of me, okay? You're seeing the same sort of layout for the quote. So we're not trying to change fonts. We're trying to create standardization so that it conditions expectations for this is what you will see. So should you be scrolling social media and see me, you can see this and you're going to expect that there's a quote. You're not going to expect that I'm saying $99 off, this, that, and the other. Do you sort of get it? Now, I could do that if I wanted to do products within it. So, say I wasn't doing, programs and say I was selling products, well, then I'm able to still use the same format to have a product or a service listed. The downside to that is that we are trying to create hooks that drive behavior but also develop emotional bonds. Do you sort of get it? We're trying to add value. So, for example, accelerating your business beyond known limits is a choice to not settle for what is expected, to not imitate others for short term results, and to actually create for yourself. That's how you go beyond the known limits. Because should you imitate others for short term results, you will never get long term gain because you're selling long term gain for short term results. Does that make sense? It's very important to understand this because this is still truth. This is accurate, factual. You sort of get it? So as we roll through, we are seeing that we are creating a cohesive narrative that should someone be scrolling through social media, should someone be scrolling through my page, my business, and you want to link your business to, or your business page to your personal page, especially in this, is because you want to leverage the activeness of your personal page. You don't want to create separation between who you are as an entrepreneur and your, personal life. You want to show people both of it as it develops a much deeper connection, but it also humanizes your brand. We want to move away from the facelessness of branding, from the facelessness of expectation in marketing and branding. So, for example, if you're only doing business posts on a business page and then doing paid marketing off that business page, that marketing is going to be far less effective than if you were doing it personally. Do you sort of get it? Because you're creating the perception that you're a faceless brand. So people will just scroll past it. So it's very important. But you can also activate your account to be a creator, an entrepreneur, a business leader. So you can create a professional personal page for your social media. And what you're going to do when you do this is you open yourself up to add revenue. You open yourself up to, being able to, for example, having your socials on here, having that, having your, website, your offer. So for example, I always do it as my offers because I do everything through offers, through through like sales funnels, not websites. Websites are irrelevant. They're ineffective in comparison to a sales funnel. A sales funnel is going to perform at a higher rate than a website because the website's got too much information on it, too much distraction, too many different things. We want to have it laser focused, just like we want to have our social media laser focused. We don't want to be out there sharing other people's brands onto our page and diluting our brand. We want our brand to be like laser focused. So it's important to understand when you start a business, when you become an entrepreneur, when you are creating a brand, you're letting go to all the other bullshit in life and you're saying, this is what I am, this is what I do. Do you sort of get it? Like you can still engage with other things, but you don't want to promote it because like your brand's currency is your promotion. So if you're giving away your promotion for free to other brands, to memes, to stupid videos, to this, that, and the other, like you're a consumer, not a producer. So you got to alter that frame of mind from sharing, stupid funny cat videos to now you only share your business. You only promote your face, your brand, your products, your services. You don't waste time doing anything external to that. You sort of get it? So, like, for example, I consume a lot of stuff online, but in my profile, in my brand, I don't dilute it by sharing anything external to my brand. Do you sort of get it? Because I don't want to be promoting other people's brands for free and not getting anything from them. So we jump into a long form post. Okay, so we break it up between short form and long form. And we also break it up to have video content in there. An important thing to understand, shall I go up to the dashboard and show you that when we get into insights, photos are always going to be the highest performer because the algorithms like it more. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're creating, you know, as I would say, irrelevant content. So, stupid videos, comedy videos, whatever it may be, something irrelevant. Your video content is never going to outperform photo content because when someone's consuming content or when they're scrolling through social media, people aren't watching videos. They might watch videos and all of that, but they're rarely going to watch videos with sound on. So, like a way you could say I could get around this would be putting subtitles on your video, but it's still not going to be consumed in the way that it is. So, like for example, if you wanted to do video content, or video content's going to perform at a higher rate on YouTube, on TikTok, on video platforms. Do you sort of get it? On social media, the algorithms are always going to promote text and photo based quotes, or not quotes, but text and photo based posts at a higher rate than they are going to anything else. So, like for example, any post with a link in it is a linked post. Do you sort of get it? So 10.4% of the 34,000 views that I got, what's that, 3,400 views roughly, is coming from the quote photos. The vast majority of them are coming from the long form text photos. Do you sort of get it? So, like, for example, you can do, and there's a reason for this as well, is because long form content is highly engageable in the context of what you're posting. You don't want to be wasting your broadcasting on irrelevant postings. So we don't want to be trying to harvest likes and harvest engagement and create posts like, hey, what's everyone up today? It's irrelevant. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. Yeah, you'll get a boost in engagement, but what is that engagement for? You're not building your brand. So we want to focus our attention, especially across social media, on brand building. So everything is focused on brand building, on marketing products and services. Okay. Forget the illusions of the 99% that try to get attention and think like attention is marketing. Attention isn't marketing, attention is attention. How you go about getting that attention will determine the effectiveness of that attention. If I'm posting up stupid cat videos to try and get attention, what attention am I getting? Someone watching a stupid cat video, someone not engaged in the product or service. Now, for example, if I am a supplier of products for cats, cat videos would be quite relevant in terms of non-productive content. Okay, so non-productive content is content that doesn't produce an outcome. When I do, and the majority of your content that is brand building will be non-productive, to where I'm creating a narrative and building out a narrative and expanding your understanding of my brand. Do you sort of get it? But my main focus should always be on creating productive content. Productive content is content that leads to an action or a sale. Do you sort of get it? If I'm doing a cat video and I'm a supplier of cat accessories and I have a cat video with my product on that cat, that's a productive action. That's productive content because it will lead to a consumer seeing that and then identifying the product and then identifying you are the producer of that product. Do you sort of get it? Mhm. So it's like this. Say you were a builder, like you wouldn't be putting up videos of Miami, if you're a builder in Australia, of the skyscrapers and the architecture of Miami, and then thinking you're going to sell more properties here in Australia. It doesn't work that way. It's irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? So we want to become laser focused on understanding non-productive and productive. It's not to say non-productive isn't essential, but non-productive is all the areas external to the offer of me selling a product, me offering my product or service, me directing traffic to a website or a sales funnel. Do you sort of get it? Because what is the point of branding and marketing if it is not to direct people to an outcome? Do you sort of get it? If it's not directing people to an outcome, it's non-productive because while I might get engagement on that post, they're going to then scroll past it. So we want to have a mixture between non-productive and productive, and non-productive are more around talking around different things. So if I was a builder here in Australia, if I'm talking about home rates or interest rates or supply prices, that's non-productive. Do you know what I mean? It's relevant towards building the consumer's understanding of the product or the service, but it's not directly leading to an outcome because the price of materials isn't going to cause someone to buy. But them seeing a floor plan or a home and land package in a suburb that they're actively looking to purchase in, that's going to lead to a purchase. Do you sort of get it? Them being directed to a sales funnel or a website, or them being introduced into your sales pipeline as a new lead will directly result in a sale. Doesn't mean 100% conversion rate, but it means that it's going to work at a higher rate to like give them some form of movement or momentum towards the outcome. So what is the outcome that we're seeking throughout social media in terms of what is the outcome that I want from an ideal buyer should they should they find themselves on my page? So for example, if we go back to my page and then we jump on here, what I want them to do is I want them to land on a sales funnel. So understand your pin post, top of your post, should always be the offer of what you're offering, your made-in product for each of the products or services or offers that you have created. So, for example, my offer for Facebook is different to my offer for LinkedIn because they're different audiences. So my offer for Facebook is my Reprogramming Your Mind 12-month program. Do you sort of get it? So everyone who comes to my page, the first thing they should see and understand is this is the primary offer of this that I'm promoting. And then all other offers are secondary, like becoming a master of sales or or revolutionizing your revenue. Like it's important to understand this because when we understand this structure, this organization, I'm focusing on bringing a specific type of buyer, but saying I also do this and this. So it's pretty important to understand this, but we want to understand like what is the purpose of our branding in our social media? What is the purpose of what we are trying to achieve? Are you trying to build our authority Are we trying to build our recognition? Are we trying to drive traffic to our website? Are we trying to do everything simultaneously? I'm achieving all simultaneously, not just one thing or the other. So we want to have a complex marketing structure or branding structure to where we're constantly offering different pieces of information. We're constantly giving them or painting the picture piece by piece, not trying to paint it all at once, piece by piece by piece. So we don't want to rely on low volumes of posting, because low volumes of posting require us to either take a far extended period of time to sort of create and run narratives. And we don't want to condense it down to having large posts that have multiple different things in them. We want to keep it fluid. We want to keep it light, and we want to keep it consumable. So we want to be talking about one different thing in each of the posts. We don't want to be talking about 20 different topics in one post and trying to make it, so to speak, overcomplicated. We want it to be as seamless and easy as possible for someone to consume. But we want to also have every aspect of our business. So this is an offer post. So we want to have every aspect of our business understanding that it is our brand, our face, our recognition that we seek to promote. We're not promoting other people. Now, the reason that you want to promote yourself and not a faceless brand is I can charge $20,000 for a product when someone knows me. But as a brand, if they don't know who I am, I then have to convince and justify. So developing the personal connection and relationship will perform at a much higher rate than if you do a faceless brand. So this is another offer post, and an offer post is just where we disclose what is in the program, what is in the service, what is the product. Okay, so you can do different formats where you can do like image based, where you have a photo of the product and then a description of the product. And then basically we just, for example, we just re-share that post. Okay. So we reshare that post, that offer post, with a hook. Do you sort of get it? So we put up the offer post and then we reshare, put up a new offer post, reshare. So like we want to be utilizing the difference between long form content, short form content. Short form content is a sharp hook. Long form content is descriptive. It adds the logical value of the product. It tells people what the product or service is. Do you sort of get it? So it's not so much about trying to sell someone on it. It's about explaining to people what is in it, and then always giving them an option to purchase. Do you sort of get it? In sales and marketing, if I have a great sales call with you and then hang up the phone, like I've just wasted all of that time. I should always be asking for the order. Why? Because it conditions you to expecting the order. So we're always utilizing, even if it gets you less results in terms of reach, if the algorithms like don't share your content as much, what is the point of getting high reach without any offer? That's like, what is the point of having 100 calls and never asking someone to purchase your product? Like you had 100 amazing calls where you talked to people, found out what was happening, but you never talked about the product or service. Do you sort of get it? So don't be like the 99% that think engagement is someone purchasing. That attention is marketing. Attention's attention. What are you getting the attention for? Are you getting the attention, i.e., having great calls with people and then asking them to purchase? Or are you having great calls with people and hanging up and then hoping that, oh, if I call them enough times and then I offer them to purchase, they're going to be more likely to purchase? They're not. So we want to be constantly asking for the order again and again and again so that people have top of mind awareness that I'm not just talking to you, I'm offering you a product or a service. I'm offering you this offer, blah, 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 whatever it may be. So we structure our branding to reflect that. We structure our marketing strategy to reflect that. And majority of people in this world don't don't handle like the volume of marketing that I do. I do between 10 to 16 posts a day. Do you sort of get it? And that's like 10 to 16 offers every day. Offer, 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 offer. Why? Because the point isn't I'm not building this brand for my ego so that I have a lot of people who follow me and do nothing about it. I'm conditioning people to understand that I'm here to offer them a product or a service. Do you sort of get it? So, like mainstream marketing, mainstream branding will try and tell you that you need to just talk, talk, talk and never ask. That's illogical and irrational. That's manipulation. Do you sort of get it? Because I'm trying to manipulate you by every day I'm giving you something. And then my expectation is when I ask, you're going to say yes. Do you sort of get it? Manipulation. Don't utilize it. Offer, 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 and set the expectation that if I'm talking to you, like my intention is to sell you a product or a service, not to say that everything I do, I offer, so to speak. Like, for example, we'll find a long form content. So, like, we have education in our offers, okay? Education and offers. We want to be educating people towards the brand. We want to be educating people towards the product or the service. We want to be educating people towards who we are. That's content. And then in our offers, we want to be giving value. Do you sort of get it? So whatever it is. So like, for example, if you're a builder, like an offer post would be about telling someone about the process, telling someone about the materials, telling someone about the, you know, what you do, how you lay the foundation. And we ask for the purchase. Even though we know 99% of people that see it aren't going to purchase. But if they see it enough and enough and enough, those who are ready to purchase will start taking action because they're conditioned to. Do you sort of get it? So, like, we're not sitting there just speaking, 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 and then going, oh, buy my product, and sitting there wondering and wishing and waiting, hoping someone buys the product. We're constantly keeping timer, top of mind awareness. So, we see here, this is content process where I'm teaching someone about, you know, about, let's have a look, where I'm teaching someone about the difference between confidence versus or true confidence versus egotistical confidence. So I'm teaching someone how to recognize the difference between true competency and ego-based competency because confidence is competency. Do you sort of get it? I can either be confident in my competency or I can pretend to be confident in my competency. So we just understand that we're not, so to speak, always having to ask someone to buy, but when I'm giving to someone, I'm giving something very, very specific. I'm not just, putting up a cat video and thinking I'm giving to someone. but we also segregate our marketing. So we don't want to be utilizing the expectation of our specific strategy in terms of I'm not using a quote, so to speak, to build my brand or to explain my brand or to educate my buyer. The quote is a hook. And then the long form content, I'm still utilizing my presence, my image, my personal brand. Do you sort of get it? So it's very important to understand this because we don't want to segregate from this. So it's the difference between this is content, this video that I'm creating right now. If I'm doing one of my offer videos like this one, this is an offer. This is where I'm talking about a product and explaining the product. This is content video or a content video where I'm educating you and building the brand and educating you about the brand. So there's no offer in this. Do you sort of get the difference? But I'm not utilizing this thinking that it's going to end with a sale because it doesn't work like that. Because there's going to be no association to the product to this video. Do you sort of get it? So we don't want to mix up the two and then make it like I'm only doing this video to sell you a product. Do you sort of get it? So we understand the two different ways in which we create. One expands the brand, expands our education for the buyer, expands, the buyer's understanding of the market or understanding of what they do, i.e., I do business programs. I am teaching you business, real world business. Like, do you sort of get it? So, like, we just want to understand, like, I'm never off brand, I'm never off topic. I'm not talking about Joe Blow down the road who has, a cool hockey rink and I like to go there and skate. Do you sort of get it? Always on brand, but the purpose of the content is different. This is content about building authority, about educating buyers, about providing value that is external to, like, the offer. Do you sort of get it? This is all stuff I offer in the programs, but you know what I mean? I'm giving it as a way to build authority, to build brand recognition, to fill space, to, so to speak, do more. So we just understand the difference between them, that our primary way of gaining attention or gaining people to take action towards, like, our primary calls to action are short, sharp hooks. Our secondary calls to action are long form offers. So descriptive offers where we're describing what is in the product or the service. And then our content is about building it out. So the hook brings someone into the page. The long form content helps them to understand the product, the service, and the business or the brand at a higher level. Long form offer posts, the descriptive offer posts, help them to understand what is in the product or the service. Do you sort of get it? So we've got different layers working for different things. All right. Well, that's going to finish off this one and we'll continue on with the next one tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye.